Welcome back, everybody. It's a week later. I'm sick, and my controller's not working, I guess. So I get to use a mouse. That's exciting.
Hi, I'm sick. I'm Dad.
Yeah. Oh. Ha 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 ha. Haha. If I laugh for real, I'll die.
Oh. Well, this will be a unmirthful, very unjoyous stream of a visual novel then.
We'll see if I make it. All right, last time we bumped into someone because we got a case of protagonist-itis. Just strange, magical, fictional people that have zero, like, immediate spatial awareness and always have to immediately crash into people around them.
Yeah.
Which is like, it happens a lot in written things, which have the advantage of you not having to visualize the logistics of them bumping into people. But it's always much funnier in movies and TVs, where somebody, of course, wrote the scenario of bumping into people, but then somebody has to actually stage the entire scene, and then the actors have to go through it, and sometimes it just looks like one of those, like, oh no, if only there was a better way commercials where someone's just like fucking spewing mail over their face for some reason, and you're like, I don't understand what they're even trying to do, but they're fucking up. I guess Tupperware will fix this.
An ad for Venetian blinds where like the dumb dad is like upside down, trapped in the blinds with like his feet sticking out, holding a screwdriver, like, oh no, what did I do this time?
Alright, so we bumped into Bruce. Our eyes meet, if only for a second, almost as some sort of confirmation of our identities.
Hang on, I have to go to the writing project and take some notes and say remove section where protagonist bumps into somebody else. Let's see. All right.
It was the bullet point you wrote. It's the bullet point.
Forget.
The bullet point you wrote after the other bullet point, which was protagonist wakes up in bed with love interest taking care of their wounds.
No. The last note that I have here is from Colonel RPG, which says add cakes. So there you go.
I'm a little scared. Hang on a minute. Okay, that's what I thought. I was making sure. I was like, Redline is the hyena, right? Not any of the people on the screen right now?
No,
got it.
No.
Okay. Hey, what the fuck?
I don't remember who was who.
I think you made him Russian.
Yeah. Oh, you got the problem, shithead.
The canine with the stain barks back at Redline. Bruce's chest chuffs out a short sigh, and I swear I see his eyes roll for a split second before they close. And with that, his arms reach out. Bruce bends over, claws digging into my shirt as I'm yanked up into the air. I get a closer look into Bruce's eyes at his height. At this height. I did not know. I was just wrong, just consistently about where the sentence was going. He looks pissed, to be frank. I mean, he normally looks pissed, but this was a different type of pissed.
It's a good one.
When I used to watch his fights, and even in our bout earlier, he had this air about him, like somebody who's in a ring to fight someone in all of those examples. A big, mean motherfucker. Someone that took enjoyment out of breaking bones and ending careers.
Yeah.
Like a demolition expert, excitedly lining up dynamite to blow a building to hell. But here, inches from his face, with Redline barking out to his aggressor, with the whole cafeteria feeling like it's frozen in time, he feels like a different person. He's not enjoying this.
Yeah, it's always weird when you meet co-workers outside of work, you know?
Yeah. Awkward. He wants me dead. I can feel it. That seems unnecessary.
I'm amazed they let a bitch like you out of medbay. God damn.
Unnecessary. You broke me. Why are you like this? A grin spreads across his face. His eyes don't change.
And now you're trying to start shit again? Didn't I already kick your ass? You hit him too hard, Bruce. I think he must have forgot.
His buddy to the other side yells out, forcing a laugh from Bruce and the man behind him.
I still don't know who the fuck you think you are, kid.
I'm dropped to the floor. Well, more forced down into it. Bruce had been holding me up a good foot in the air.
Again? Jeez.
It's their song. Luckily, I managed to land on my feet and avoid slipping in the mango smoothie slowly melting on the tile. Bruce's forceful shove sort of broke the physical stalemate we had been in. Everyone around us had to stop and see what just made that sound. Stalemate?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what they're describing there.
Well, so it was a tie when Bruce was holding him up in the air. And, yeah, Alex or whatever his name was like, I got you right where I want you, holding me by the throat or something. But then when he got pushed, oh, that's when the tides shifted in Bruce's favor, something fierce.
Maybe it's called a stalemate because enemies to lovers is kind of done at this point.
Ah, you
It's
think
overdone.
Oh, it's foreshadowing.
It would be a stalemate.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Continuing onwards.
I clicked.
Yeah. Well, I know. It's just emotionally, I had to click too.
It's fine. The audience
You'll
will
stay the
appreciate my joke.
fuck out of my way if you know what's good for you.
Bruce's massive hands press against me on that word. I let out a grunt, forced backwards, but Redline's tight grip on my waist helps steady me. Redline's holding us too.
Apparently,
I don't know if that
You're
was
not doing a good job.
Has Redline been mentioned? I had no idea that Redline was touching us. Huh. Yeah, I don't think that was. I don't think that was established.
Hmm.
He'd been holding on to.
Oh, well, there you go.
He'd been holding on to it this whole time. I hadn't even noticed.
You got that?
The snarl echoes out through the dining hall. Everyone on our side of the cafeteria is staring silently, watching like statues, ready to witness a crime. As statues are known to do. Even the staff at the food stations are frozen. A fork drops somewhere, followed by the presumed owner whispering, "Shit." The beast stands back up to his full height, towering over most people in the vicinity. It's a pretty uncomfortable scene. I think this guy might be toxic. Bruce's eyes shift to the opposite side, looking for something I can't see. I feel like we're watching your story from the beginning of last episode play out in real time. Of like the super like fragile masculinity guy having to make an entire display over the tiniest affront. Like it's just like, what the fuck's your deal, Bruce? Like, you didn't even get smoothie on you. The other guy did. Like, what the fuck is this level of outrage even over?
You gotta establish the enemies for the enemies to lover thing. Yeah, no, he's good. He is extremely fragile.
Yeah, it's
pretty amusing.
So lame.
Mm-hmm.
Silently, he moves. He's definitely faster than I think anyone would give him credit for, especially at the size he is. His body moves straight forward, walking past me, and forcibly checking me with his shoulder as he does. The rest of his posse follows, the canine making sure to step carefully over the slush on the floor. Wouldn't want to get any of this on me as it's like covering his entire front side.
Well, it's just tiny.
Yeah, it's like
Why is
hushed.
this text smaller?
Because it's hushed. That's what it means.
Oh, so somebody's in the background whispering, "Do you think this will wash out?"
Well, no, it's the Russian guy.
Oh, I see. Do you think this will wash out?
It is unhelpful to have do you stick in the question marks this long because you're like,
Yeah.
He speaks in a hushed tone to the man next to him, their voices fading into the distance as they exit. I can't focus on them right now. I'm not able to put coherent thought to what just happened. I had my smoothie, I was talking to Redline, and then something completely inexplicable happened, and now I'm here. I'm lost.
And then I protagonisted all over his shirt.
I'm gonna... And
what do you want me to protagonize?
His eyes. Who do you want? That was different from before. He was angry. He was really fucking angry. Stay out of his way. How the hell am I supposed to do that? We're all trapped down here. Got bad news, buddy.
I know it's one of the most difficult things to do is to not walk into people, but somehow you're going to have to learn.
I'll probably run into him later today on the way around the facility. Am I just supposed to stay in my room? And why is it so fucking loud in here? Zander? A fresh breath of stale air, huh? Flows through my nostrils as Redline's voice catches my attention. He's really close to my ears.
Line. Yeah,
a fresh breath of stale air.
A fresh breath of stale air is actually not too bad. I like it.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
I blink a few times. A bit of wet from the edge of my eye spreads to my upper eyelid. My hand quickly rises to wipe them dry. Dude, I'm fine. The crack in my voice proves me wrong. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I cleared my throat and try again. I can't. I'm sorry. I'll have it cleared next week. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Sorry. What the hell was that? First he ruins your smoothie and now he thinks he just gets to shove you around? The fuck is his problem? Redline is louder than normal. And he's defined by being loud so far.
How does he know normal? They just met.
Louder than so far where he was loud. Now he's even more louder, which is terrifying.
So.
I think that's just how he is. I don't know yet. Shouldn't you? You're from here. He continues on, walking us back towards our table. I follow without thinking, though I'd rather be anywhere else. Let's go back to our table with our nun smoothie.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll sit down and remember I don't have a smoothie, and then get back up and get a smoothie, and then cause another rivalry. Nah, dude, that's some bullshit. Like, we got little spats here and there all the time, but where does he get off pushing you around like that? I can feel the rest of the cafeteria's eyes laser focus on us. My head is still ringing. I don't think I can afford Redline being any louder than he already is. I need to get out of here. Listen, man, can we go? He looks at me weird. Go? Oh, the room, right. God. Here, let's go. Follow me. He grabs my wrist again and walks a lot faster now, aiming for a pair of doors leading out of the hallway. I try to keep my head down as we pass a number of men on our way out.
I think this went well.
Yeah.
He made a friend.
Good first day.
Made an impression on Bruce's posse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good icebreaker, throwing a smoothie at people. Redline marches straight through the open doors like a man on a mission, following this red line.
Oh.
Now we know.
Is that why he's named Redline?
Yes, and no other reason. It's a bit louder out here than it was before, but not by a whole lot. More people walking around. It seems lunchtime is nearing its end. There's still a few people out and about, though. I think I see a few heads turn as Redline leads us into the main hall. With more weird stairs. He wastes no time taking a direct path to where we need to go. Down the hall, up a flight of stairs, into the second floor hallway. Follow the light to the second floor. Weird carpet. Why does this look familiar? Why is that wall purple?
Looks like a generic hotel to me.
Yeah, that's probably the problem.
Yeah.
It looks monochrome, like it was filtered to be monochrome, but then there's a purple wall. And I don't know what to do with
artsy.
it. I don't know what to do with that. It's just as wide as the first floor, but completely empty. Redline and I power walk through the empty hall. Unlike the main floor, though, the walls are completely covered, with normal wooden doors defending each room. Redline's grip is really strong. I can keep up with him just fine, but he's got a death grip on my wrist. Redline. His ears twitch, and he stops almost immediately, turning to face me. What's up? I look at my wrist. You're hurting me. Huh? Oh! Sorry, horny grip. The hyena immediately pulls his paw away, releasing me. He hesitates over my wrist for a second, like he's unsure if he should rub it or something. Wait, let me kiss it better.
The answer is no. Typically, you would not rub it in this situation. I have much to teach you, Redline.
Do you have more questions that need answers? I feel like it'd be entertaining. let's just work our way through. I take mine back as well, rubbing my wrist gently. My shoulder still hurts from when he was pulling on it in the cafeteria. Still, the fact that he was holding on...
This guy's just tugging on this guy every part of this dude.
Everyone just hurts this man. Still, the fact that he was holding on so tight was a nice gesture, even if it was probably... didn't help my shoulder. He was holding the same arm that the shoulder's on.
Yeah.
You gotta speak up at some point, buddy. You gotta mention, like, hey, this shoulder got fucking obliterated. This one specifically, the one you keep exclusively touching. There's so much more of me that you could touch. Like, have at it.
He's new. He doesn't want to be too assertive or dominant. He's got to feel out the social situations.
I didn't know that boxing had space for bottoms. I feel like I should say something, but I'm kind of enjoying the silence for now. It feels like I can finally breathe. We had kept walking once Redline pulled his hand away, but at a bit of a slower pace. Whatever gets us closer to the room and further away from the others, I guess. And here we are. Redline stopped right in front of a door at the end of the hall. Room 202. I'm still not clear on why Redline of all people is the one who knows our room number. And that's how we find out, apparently. Just say,
go to room 202?
I think it's so we meet. I think it's basically so we meet Redline, but I'm like why don't you?
Yeah.
Why wasn't there like an intake process? If there was like an intake process where first you probably should know where your room is before you go to a fight here. That seems like the order of things happening.
The right fucking name.
Yeah, like if you had an intake process where you get sent to your room and everything, they'd probably get that name sorted out too in the more than 30 seconds you have before you get thrown into a skull crusher.
Mm-hmm.
There's a separate stairwell just to the left of the room, behind a fire door. It actually seems convenient. I won't have to contend with other people trying to use the hallways or stairwells at the same time.
One might say that this underground fighting ring is not really running a tight ship. You know, there's some administrative problems.
Not very OSHA or anything else compliant.
No.
I see the instinct, because it was the idea, like, let's start at the action as fast as possible and get the premise going. Which is why you would start at the fight. But he doesn't have to have just shown up in the last 30 seconds for that to happen. He could just already have a room, and you could just mention that he got it before the fight, after the fight. So you don't just waste time on that. Seems pretty handy.
Yeah, this is kind of backwards, isn't it?
Yeah, it's strange to process the idea that they got him into the fight so fast that, like, he didn't even have time to, like, sit down. Or, like...
Yeah, he didn't put his stuff down or anything like that.
No one checked if he was the right person or, like, talked to... I'm just thinking of, like, any, like, employment intake process at any place. Like, imagine just getting sent directly to programming with no context.
I like to think, you know, he went to a ring and then he went to the hospital for like 3 days or something like that. I want it to be the case. He enters his room and there's like a fruit basket and it just says like welcome and all the food is like rotten by now. It just had like avocado dip and it's pure brown at this point.
No, not the brown dip.
No, we have brown dip.
No. Speaking of handy, Redline jams his thumb against a little notch. Speaking of handies, little notch on the handle of my room. After a second, a light on the handle flashes green, along with a short beeping sound.
He can get in?
That seems...
That's weird.
Is it that he's our roommate?
I hope that's where this is leading.
I feel like it wasn't specified that he was our roommate, but he was just the mysteriously the one that knows how to get to our room. But that might be why. Okay. Otherwise, it's really weird that he just got in. I'm like, well, it's not really a lock then, is it? The mechanical locks in the door click. That's how you pronounce that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
The mechanical locks in the door click. The Redline pushes the door to my room open. There we go. Come on in. It looks like a generic hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Redline leads the way into the space. It's small. Nothing terrible. Nothing small, not terribly small, granted, but still, I'm pulling apart a little bit. When they said it was underground... No, it wasn't metaphorical, and it wasn't about it being an underground boxing ring because illegal or anything.
They took an elevator down.
Yeah, they were literally underground. I'm just questioning all the windows. You just Photoshop the window out.
Like I said, it's Men in Black. There's just a big light there to simulate.
Select this part of the wall and then paste it here. We stand in a cozy rectangular room. A bed sits along the back wall, leading up to what appears to be a window. Okay, we're addressing this. Seated across from the bed is an empty desk with a chair tucked neatly underneath it. This exact layout is mirrored on the other side of the room, with a small nightstand separating the beds and a large dresser separating the desks. But like, we could like push the beds together if you want.
This is culty.
Yeah, and like in cults, you have to have the second person there at all times to make sure the devil doesn't get in.
Don't masturbate together.
They're your accountability, and they only serve Kellogg's products.
Mm-hmm.
The other side is clearly well lived in. I can see my phone plugged in and face down on the nightstand. That implies that it's on the other. That implies
Cafeteria cereal. Yeah.
It's just the way that's phrased makes it sound like the phone is on the other side that's lived in. Like Redline has your phone.
The other side is clearly go back.
The other side is clearly well lived in. I can see my phone. You're like, wait, on the other side?
What? Yeah, it does sound like Redline's like took this guy's phone and is going through it.
I assume that's not the implication. What's with the window? We're
like
underground.
Like, who's this hoe?
Redline lets out a short laugh. Oh, yeah, they're like light screens or something.
There you
Since
go.
you don't see the sun down here, they need something to help keep our circadian rhythm going smoothly. It helps keep our sleep cycles working. There's a bit of an awkward pause as I move further into the room. These rooms are a lot bigger in the advertisements. The hyena laughs nervously. Oh, yeah. I think they show like tier 3 rooms in the ads. We gotta work our way up if we want rooms like that. Like in a cult.
What kind of fucking Soviet ass sleeping accommodation is this?
We need to increase our Thetan levels so that we can have better rooms.
Oh my god, it is so culty.
I can feel my
Scientology boxing ring.
And just like in a cult, just like in Scientology, you can't leave.
Yeah.
You just
until you defeat the higher Scientologists.
Yeah, it's the religion where you get locked on a boat, and then Tom Cruise just beats you up every month. And he's like, "Do you see the aliens now?" Just over and over again.
God, I borderline believe this. I know it's not true, but God, it almost is true.
Some of it's true. The Scientology boat is real. The weird nightmare kidnapping boat. Is take people away. I can see my expression contort slightly. Redline gestures around. Yeah, I guess we're roommates after all. Oh, I did not mention that. I should have mentioned that like last week, like in the other episode. That would have been. Oh, wow. That's super awkward. I have to pause to process everything. It makes sense, I suppose, seeing the two beds and seeing how Redline has fingerprint access to what I thought was my room. Uh-huh.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, he's catching up. A sigh escapes my mouth as I drop onto my bed. There's a bit of give to it, although part of that might be the comforter on top of the mattress. My hand clutches the bridge of my muzzle.
Who gives a fuck about the... Whatever.
It's fine. The Redline scored the sweet roommate situation where he's gonna have a room to himself most of the year. Because we're gonna be in the hospital.
So did they like arrive at the same time, or does what happened to Redline's previous roommate, or like what's happening here?
Oh, the dragon ate him.
Oh,
Live on stage.
Okay.
But, Redline
That
definitely
works.
isn't new because it says his side looks lived in. Granted, that can happen.
True.
That can happen instantly. So I can hear Redline step to one side uncomfortably. No, he has a sad expression. This is going to come up in worse context later. Sorry. I shake my head. No, Redline, you didn't. It's not you.
What? What's taking this so hard?
No, I get it. You weren't expecting to have to share a room with anyone. They didn't really mention that when I registered. A few voices echoed down the hall. They must be loud given how far away they sounded. Redline sticks his head out the door, looking down toward them before coming back inside, shutting the door behind him. The door's locks click. It's just... I drop back, landing with a thump on the comforter. Nothing's really going right. Not like I expected, at least. The two of us are
you
silent
didn't
for a
expect
moment.
to wind up in the hospital within 45 seconds of arriving here?
Yeah, shockingly, not going according to plan. My plan was to kick your ass, not get my ass kicked. What did you expect? Money, solitude, a working shoulder, less concussions, fewer. Excuse me. I'll be back to correct your grammar when you've recovered from your concussions. I don't know. Another awkward silence lingers for a few moments. I can hear Redline pull his chair back and flop open what sounded like a laptop. You might just need to sleep on it. Let's do whatever I have. That's what I do whenever I have a lot on my mind. I sit back up. Redline's got his laptop on, typing away at something. I got plenty of rest in the med bay. Redline wheels around to face me. Yeah? And then you got assaulted in the calf. Still sticking with that one.
Yeah.
Not to mention you found out you're rooming with a yin. They said it. They said the thing. They said the thing.
I'm not furry enough to understand.
It's a hyena.
I know that. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's just a little
Then
funny.
I am furry enough. Never mind.
It's just a little funny whenever it pops up in the text. Because it's the thing that people say on like Twitter and stuff. And like the last story I wrote,
okay.
I said yin, so I'm not immune. But it's just a very funny word.
Okay. So it's just a little trendy slang. Got it.
I feel like you heard this, but I don't remember if you heard it. But it is extremely funny to me that we're like 200 hours into playing Lethal Company at this point or some shit like that. And we've been using the Lethal Company mod the whole time that turns you into hyenas. Just now,
and then,
after all this time, Brian just realized that it's called lethal. They're called yins because they're hyenas.
yeah, I remember that. I was kind of drunk when he said it, and
I lost
so I
my
couldn't
shit.
process the moment.
Yeah, I lost my shit because
but-
it's been like 8 months.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oop, mouse wheel works. I give him a weird look, but I can't help but feel a smile crack. Redline sees that smile, I think. As a smile forms on his face, he turns back to his laptop.
There's my boy. He's smiling now.
Trust me, Zander, take a nap. You'll feel better in the morning.
That's sleeping. That's not a nap.
Well, you know what I mean. You'll feel better in the morning? What a day he's having. After being in the hospital for like 3 days, he gets out of bed, walks to the cafeteria, talks for a while, gets a smoothie, drops it, then goes to lay down to wake up in the morning. Like, it's still lunchtime after 3 days of sleeping. Like, I would lose my fucking mind. Yes.
Thank you for the synopsis. Spark notes.
You'll feel better in the morning. A nap does sound nice. I felt the adrenaline rush wear off after we got to the second floor, but I didn't really start feeling tired until I sat on the mattress. I lied back on top of the comforter, properly laid down in bed. It's nice. Definitely better than the beds in the med bay. Doesn't take long for my eyes to close gently. A few more seconds of silence pass before Redline speaks up again. Oh, he's gonna be that guy. You mind if I put on some music? Hesitation. That depends. What kind of music? How's this sound?
Oh my god. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know about this.
Are we about to...
This is some handy music, you know what I mean? Wow.
But it's a red line though, so it'd be a careless shout whisper. A gentle guitar with a sweet saxophone melody flows from his laptop speakers. No, that ruins it. So it's like really tinny and awful. Yeah. Redline leans back in his chair, arms folded behind his head. He doesn't have speakers in this room. You like jazz?
Oh my god. Redline's making me uncomfortable right now. This is a lot to take in.
I've never seen B-Movie. I can listen to this stuff all day. I mean, I can listen to all sorts of music all day, but today it just sort of feels like a jazz kind of day, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that means. It's nice. Huh. I like it. I was afraid it would be something, I don't know, high energy. Don't read into that. I'm not criticizing you. Redline lets out a louder than necessary laugh. Maybe it feels louder than it is. I don't know. Come on, man. I just ate lunch. You think I want to run around? Actually, wait. I think I could go for a jog. You want to come? I hear they got some new stuff in the library we could check out. Those are so many different topics. The jogging library. That's what you do in libraries, right?
He went from not being tired to being tired to jazz music to now being invited on a jog to the library.
You should take a nap or jog with me. One of those. You know, similar vibes. Oh man, I haven't even showed you around yet. Redline. Yeah? Wait, you're right. Shit, you're sleeping. Sorry. Thank you. I lay in silence for a short while, laid back on this new bed. A cold breeze brushes past my ears, if only for a second. There's probably a vent somewhere.
Hey, mind if I change the song?
At least it won't get too stuffy, given how there's no windows. Well, there's technically a window, and only one exit to the room. The blankets scrunch up underneath me as I curl up slightly. The jazz is nice. The bed is nice. Redline is quiet and nice, but quiet's more important right now. Some time passes.
What?
Welcome to Gray.
What the hell happened? Did we Mandela effect into the bad timeline now?
Silent Hill Rust Dimension.
Yeah.
Oh no. He's just like screwed to the wall and barbed wire. You're like,
oh my god.
Red from. I think this is day for night.
Oh, I see what you mean.
There's a decent number of visual novels that just kind of do a darker version of the other picture to make it nighttime. And
right, gotcha.
And approximately at that point in the game's development, you regret showing an open window with bright light sticking into it. I've been playing. We played Password for like 200 hours or something, and one of the primary locations is a bedroom with like bright windows out to the outside world everywhere, and most of the scenes in that room take place at night. And they just turn it,
you
like,
know, suspension of disbelief.
So
and
they just turn it blue, like actually day for night. It's always funny. My eyes flutter open to see an empty room, a silent room too. Redline's laptop is still open, but he's not here. Guess he went for that walk after all. I want to get out of here, out of this room, out of this facility, just out. I just need some fresh air. At least Redline's not here to bark some story at me. I don't really know if I can handle a chat right now. All of his emotions at Redline are negative. It's a rough time.
But he's nice.
Yeah. It's hot. I throw my covers off and roll out of the bed. I guess he got under the covers at some point. The purple's gone. Almost. It still looks subtly purple, but less purple.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a full grayscale or not, and it's just like the weirdness of gray values making it still look purple, or what?
I think that there's well, I actually don't know, and because the human mind is kind of weird about stuff like this.
It's so weird about color, yeah.
Yeah, so it could be that because we know that's purple, our brain is making it purple for us.
I've known people who paint entirely in gray sometimes, and they just can imply color in a weird way. It's very strange.
Yeah, you're able to do like a lot of colder colors that way. Like you can make blue and purple really jump out with grays. I think that's gray.
Oh, you screenshotted it?
No, I didn't screenshot it. I'm just squinting.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm curious. Now I'm gonna
activating squint mode. When I focus my eyes specifically, so I can detect RGB values in hexadecimal, like it's the Death Note power.
It is in fact gray.
Trippy.
Yep.
The door opens and I step into an empty hallway. Did I sleep until dinner? Maybe I'll finally have my first meal. There's that stairwell to my left. Might as well take that down. I push the door open and step into the elevator. Directly into Bruce.
It's just an endless cycle of him getting his ass kicked by Bruce, failing to get mango smoothies, and just then getting his ass kicked by Bruce in different, like, professionally.
Just emerging from strange pieces of furniture. I'm definitely thrown here again. There's a stairwell on my left. I might as well take that down. I push the door open and step into the elevator.
No, that's just a editing mistake completely.
The elevator door closes. There's no buttons, but it starts moving down soon enough. It doesn't move for long. Coming to a stop, the doors slide open and reveal the stone arena I fought in earlier. It's a nightmare. Got it.
Oh.
Good. If I'm here, maybe I can win and leave. Or maybe I can...
This isn't the calf.
Or maybe someone can kill me. Either way, I won't have to deal with this anymore. This fight. This league. This whole miserable life. I feel like that level of defeatist might need a couple more loops through getting defeated before you get there. Slightly strong reaction on your first... Not first day, but... Gone in an instant. No more pain. No more fear. It's dark, and it's chilly. The padded gloves on my hands make me realize that I'm in fight gear. Did I sleep in this? The door on the other side of the arena is still closed. I'm standing at my end of the ring, waiting for the elevator door to open. It feels like forever, but it finally does. Bruce is there, stomping straight through the ring towards me. He says some baseless taunt I can't bother to pay attention to. I have to end this. So I pull out my gun. His hand moves before the bell rings, sweeping from the side.
That's so not allowed. God.
Yeah. Sweeping from the side and clutching my neck. So he just cheats. That's his gimmick. He just assaults people before matches start. Before he can lift me, I go to send a punch to his jaw. My right arm doesn't respond. It's limp at my side. I can't move it. When did that happen?
Yeah, punching your dreams is very hard.
I'm lifted up. He must not be holding my neck tight because I can breathe just fine. My legs kick out, trying to damage his midsection, trying to stop him somehow. Anyhow. Bruce doesn't react. He just grins.
See you soon, kid.
His forehead moves closer, and fast, almost like I blinked and missed it. The blinding white flash in my vision and splitting headache, however, can't be ignored. I try to cry out, but nothing happens. His head rears back again, and then... I think I move again. It's hard to tell before the searing pain strikes through my skull. There's a dull buzzing sound ringing through my ears. Bruce pulls his head back. Another flinch, another empty cry, another strike stacked onto my forehead. There's a bit of blood spattered into Bruce's forehead. Bruce doesn't even blink. Stop. I feel something break. My skin splitting open like a piece of old fabric. The splash of blood on Bruce's forehead has grown. That buzzing is louder now. Let me go. This is getting gross.
Yeah.
The pain is too hot to register. I can't move. I could hear my skull crack with the last headbutt. There's blood dribbling down my muzzle. Bruce's head looks raw. Please. I close my eyes before Bruce can pull me in again. Whoops. My body spasms and I sit up.
Weird dream there, kid.
It was definitely a mistake when he told Redline, you saw the fight, you know I didn't get hit in the head.
Yeah.
Because on top of being hit in the head in the actual fight, now he's having nightmares about being hit in the head the same way, but more. So it's just like, whoops.
Maybe he was lying.
For fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say, who would ever look somebody in the eye and just lie about obviously untrue things, and then I remembered who I'm here with.
Hey. I'm not a Republican.
Why are you making me doubt that? What is your game?
all I'm saying is that I don't like paying taxes, therefore I'm going to throw everything else about the world under the bus.
My body spasms and I sit up. I'm in my bed, in my room, voice degrading in real time. Well, our room. My hand moves my forehead. There's a soft patch of fur, warm and solid. No blood. Any pain that was there is quickly fading away, dispersing throughout my temple. I'm alive. I mean, I'd be a little worried if Bruce can hurt you in your dreams like Freddy. The pain's not supposed to happen.
Kick your ass when you're awake and you're asleep.
Yeah.
I'm never not kicking your ass.
At a glance, Redline is gone. His laptop closed and his chair left against the end of the bed. My shaky hands come to rest against the bed. My heavy breathing finally starting to slow down. I hear that buzzing sound again. My phone. My body shifts and I reach for the nightstand. I unplug the phone and turn it over to look at the screen. My blood runs cold. Dad. 2 missed calls. The fur on the nape of my neck prickles, trailing a chill down my back. Why is he calling? Why is he calling now of all times? It's usually been just a text here or there or a stray message on friend book.
Maybe he needs to borrow money.
At least they didn't try to make it like, it's hound book.
Yeah.
There's a lot of furry reflex to be like, oh, I gotta name it not the real name. But for some reason it has to have something furry in the name, as if we put human in all of the names of our things.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Now he wants to talk? I've been staring at the screen for so long that it switched back to sleep mode. The glass reflects my own face back at me. My eyes meet my own for a moment. They look sad. They look so tired. I flop back onto the bed, blowing out a sigh as the phone drops onto the comforter next to me. What the fuck am I going to do? Bruce is a no-go, and the commissioner has complete control over the roster. My options are to beat Bruce, speak with the commissioner, or break my contract, and spend the next 50 years paying out the ass for voiding the legal document. Well, one of these three options seems like the obvious thing to pursue. I'd rather not leave here more poor than I came, and beating Bruce is probably impossible, right? So I'll have to talk to the commissioner. I'm sure he won't want a death on his hands, and I'd rather not die if I can avoid it. So that's the next plan of attack then. What else am I supposed to do? The phone next to my head starts buzzing again, and I shoot back up into a sitting position. A mixture of fear and rage well up from the pit of my stomach, reaching the tip of my antlers. I pick up the phone without looking at the screen. What the fuck do you want? There's a brief moment of silence on the other hand.
Alex?
Oh my god. I look at the phone screen for the caller ID, and I don't recognize the number. But it's not my father. It's the doctor.
Alright. That's right.
Were you the doctor?
I don't remember what the doctor sounded like.
Well.
I guess I'm gonna have to remember real fucking quick.
I need to drink something, so good luck. Oh, hey, Doc.
Yes, this is Drayden calling for Alex.
That's me?
Hey, Alex, are you okay?
Another sigh from my mouth. Yeah, no, I'm all good. Just had a, my mind wanders back to the caller ID. Just a bad dream. Spooked me real bad.
I hear you. Stressful situations could mess with your subconscious.
I don't really know how to answer that. There's a few seconds of silence that lingers between us.
Well, hey, so I've got your physical therapy session scheduled for tomorrow. Can you swing by after breakfast? I don't want you exercising before we make sure it's all healed up, so we'll get it checked out, and if it's looking as good as I'm hoping, we should be able to clear you fully. Sound good?
And then you get broken again. Isn't that exciting?
Isn't that what you want?
Sounds good. I'll see you after breakfast, probably around 6 or so. Oh my god.
Oh no. This is a cult.
Oh my god, I would die.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know there were single-digit numbers in the morning. The cat lets out a laugh.
6 a.m.? Listen, you exercise types might be good at waking up early, but I'm kind of on a different schedule. How's 9 o'clock sound?
I can't help but breathe out a chuckle as well. For some reason, I find myself standing up, slowly pacing down the center of the room. Sounds good. I'll see you then. Drayden agrees and hangs up on his end. I slide my phone back into my pocket. The room is silent yet again. My hands come up to rub my slowly waking face. I cannot fucking believe I answered the phone like that. Drayden probably thinks I'm insane. I literally just told him a few hours ago I was fine. Seemed pretty calm about it though. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You even were like, I had a nightmare. Yay!
Yay, it skipped time instead of showing us every detail of how we got here.
Cinematic cutting in a visual novel that itself is like, it's a match cut, which is fun.
Oh, thank God.
Or it's like a verbal match cut, not a shot.
It is a verbal match cut.
Yeah.
Which
is fun.
Is very interesting.
Just
yeah.
the number of, I said it before, but just the number of things in the genre I've played where I'm like, Okay,
No.
you don't need to describe everything.
So, yeah, so how this would normally work is, I forget the exact terminology, but in the previous scene, we would see Redline, his dialogue box saying, "You're definitely overthinking it," and then we would cut to here. You know, that thing where in a movie...
It's a J cut.
Is that a real term, or are you fucking with me?
No, it's a J cut. It's when the audio leads the shot.
Okay, then that's exactly what they're going for here.
Yeah. We're thinking in like Edgar Wright terms and shit, like these kinds of like moves, like with you start hearing the next scene before it actually visibly shows up, and then you realize, oh, it's that person saying it, and it'd be like,
yeah, that's called a J cut or whatever. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it just like cuts to Kim. It's like, you're dating a high schooler.
Mm-hmm. Variation is split editing film, audio overlaps the picture. Yep, you're correct. J cut. Perfect.
I almost know one skill. Maybe I'm overthinking it. You're definitely overthinking it. But holy fuck, dude, that's so embarrassing. Redline lets out another one of his signature high-pitched laughs. No. A few stray bits of food flying out of his maw and onto the tray. He must have noticed too, as he covers his mouth and takes a second to finish swallowing. That's so embarrassing. Thanks.
Good thing you didn't spray that on Bruce, or else he'd wind up in the hospital.
No, not Bruce. People adjacent to Bruce.
What if Bruce is like super nice to everybody except for Alex? Like people spit on Bruce, and he's like, "Hey, that's okay, Redline. I knew it wasn't a problem." Alex, and just walks past him.
It's just an extended bit. No one knows what's happening anymore. I'm a bit surprised I managed to run into him after my nap. Though, granted, I just sort of sat around and played on my phone for a while. Here or there? I want to preserve... Is he, Okay, he came here to play his phone. I was gonna say, like... I was like, you're surprised you ran into him in your room that you share with him?
Yeah.
But I wanted to preserve the solitude for as much as I could, but I couldn't really justify spending more time doing nothing in my room despite Drayden's orders. Despite the justification. I wasn't really late it was pretty late in the afternoon, but not really time for dinner, so I wandered back to the mat rooms. There's obviously a lot more people this time around, so I got a chance to observe a good amount of men practicing. Redline actually found me as he was leaving, and invited me to eat with him after. We managed to get to the cafeteria pretty early, thankfully before it got too crowded. The hyena drowns a swig from his water bottle, piercing a spear of asparagus and a slice of chicken on the same fork before shoving it into his maw. Okay, that's not as long as the description could have been, but you did kind of undo the value of the pacing of cutting here by then going back and explaining the not very interesting logic behind him walking around.
No, it's a complete wash. They
undid it.
They had the right instinct, but they really executed it incorrectly.
Yeah, it's just not that interesting. Like, I just kind of wandered around. Nothing interesting happened. Here's a paragraph about it. I'm honestly surprised that cell service even reaches this far down. We're, what, 20 stories underground? Something like that. He covers his mouth again, swallowing quickly before speaking again. I'm not sure if you noticed, but they actually tampered with your phone a bit. While you were
what the fuck?
In the hospital.
This is cold. Jesus.
I could feel my face contort. What? How? Redline takes another forkful of food before talking. I wonder how long it'll take him to learn to swallow before speaking.
I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
It's nothing serious. Another swallow before he continues his response. He's still twiddling his fork impatiently. Maybe I should just let him eat and get answers later. They get outfitted with this, like, special internet data thing. Basically, the whole facility has real strong wireless internet. The special bit is that they can, like, monitor everything that goes on the network. So don't look up any porn.
Without telling me.
Because I'll know.
Mm-hmm. We'll all know.
We share porn here.
Everybody has to watch porn on the Plex at the same time.
If anyone looks up porn, it immediately gets shared to the TV. He takes another bite. I should butt in before I get another spray of chicken.
Ew.
So, I don't like it. I hate food stuff. So they can see everything we do on our phones? Mm-hmm. That's not really a big deal. Like, it's just to make sure you don't do anything illegal or breach your contract or anything, or, you know, talk shit about the league. Another high-pitched giggle. Seems like he's not too concerned about the breach of privacy. But if you're concerned about, like, porn and stuff, I wouldn't really worry about it.
Oh, thank God.
I'm friends with a bunch of people down here, and they can be pretty open about what they're into. That's not the answer I think he was hoping for. That laugh seems almost nervous, a bit more unhinged than his regular laughs. Some of it's pretty fucked up, dude.
I don't want to be near Redline If I were Alex, I would be at this point trying to find a way to get transferred to a new roommate.
So there's these things called cake farts, and
oh no.
He's getting louder now, even by the cafeteria crowd standards. I lift both my hands slightly and lower them gently, trying to signal that he needs to quiet down. Redline doesn't seem to notice, and stuffs his face with a few more chunks of grilled chicken. I can imagine. I know a few guys from my old work tried to get me into some weird stuff.
What?
What, like snuff? Whoa!
Dude. Okay, I like Redline again.
That's so much worse than anything on the list. Jesus Christ. No. I nearly coughed up the mouthful of water I was holding.
God, Jesus. I really don't like Redline.
Christ.
Creepy as hell.
The hyena just laughs. I just like, I was gonna be like, what, like foot stuff?
No.
Says the worst thing possible, basically. We got really into like Taliban execution videos, like.
Oh God.
We're like, oh,
that's a classic. The 4chan special right there. God
Jesus
damn.
Christ. I could point out 4 in the caf right now that'd be into it. That's bad. I have to fight those people.
God damn, man.
Can I not fight those people?
This is hell. This is actually like one of the worst places I could ever imagine finding myself in. Holy shit.
I almost want to turn around and look to see if I can figure out who he's talking about. But there's a lot of people here. It'd be hard to identify anyone. Yeah, and you don't know anyone yet because you haven't talked to anyone at all. I can go back to picking at my veggie chicken salad. I'm not sure I want to know who those are. That's fair. I'm not one of them, if that's what you're worried about.
Kind of, yeah. That does help.
I don't think you could kill someone if you wanted to. Oh, that's a dangerous challenge to pose to the person you sleep next to. The hyena laughs while I take a sip from my water. I would never. Fighting's fun and all, but I'd never be able to forgive myself if I actually damaged someone. He stabs at the last chunk of chicken. Well, I hate to break it to you, but when you fight people, you damage them. I mean, like, permanently. Black eyes are one thing. Losing an eye is another. My body shudders at that mention. I haven't mentioned the details of my dream to Redline, and I don't really plan on it. Granted, I didn't lose an eye, but I'm pretty sure I lived through getting my skull smashed in. I'm probably more fucked in the head than I thought, if that's the kind of shit I dream about. Yeah, I dream about the person that's beating the shit out of me doing it harder. What an insane place for my brain to go. You got
Man,
nothing.
it's weird how, like, when you get traumatized, you sometimes relive that trauma.
Yeah.
The fuck, brain?
Like, dude, you have nothing on the Disco Elysium, guy. You're fine. I've seen what the thought cabinet looks like. I have it on a shirt. There's a lot of poop in it. I can't help. I can't keep thinking on this. I can't keep thinking on this right now. I can feel my skin crawling. Redline probably notices my silence. So, got any plans for after dinner? No. Great. You can let me show you around the facility then. I force down the last bit of my salad and take a swig of water. It's not like I can do much else in here until you do, right? It's impossible to wander. Redline stands up quickly, grabbing his tray. That's the spirit. Come on, little buddy. Little buddy? I wipe the scowl off my face and follow Redline to drop our trays off at the trash table, then out of the cafeteria doors. I wonder how much taller he is than Redline. Redline is standing outside the main doors, facing the opposite wall with his hands on his hips. His head is cranked in one direction, looking down the hall. He's got that same goofy smile on his face, almost like he's lost in thought. So, Zander. Yep. Where do you want to see first? I feel like I could answer that better if I knew what was down here. Redline spits out another high-pitched laugh. Good point. We got a library, a pool, some exercise spaces, the porn room. Those will sound equally interesting. Where do I want to go first?
All the snuff tapes have been checked out, though.
Where should we go first, birdcatcher? Well, I drink.
Let's see. You know, he was hyping up the library earlier. Do we do the library? Is it time for library?
We check out the library.
I think it's time for library.
Redline's ears twitch at my answer, but his gaze doesn't change. Sorry. Actually, it might be better to go this way. More efficient.
Okay.
I mean, we can hit all the different stuff on the way there. Come on, dude. He starts moving down the hallway from the cafeteria. What the hell was the point in asking me if we were just going to go the way he wants? Character development. Also, fuck you. Just another thing I don't have any choice in down here. I follow suit, sticking close to Redline as he moves past the stairwell across the hall from the cafeteria. Anyway, the correct answer was... The hyena leads us both down the hall a short distance, stopping in front of a room with a bunch of exercise equipment inside. The machines are being used by a number of men, with a room full of various different species of varying sizes. They're clearly working up a sweat. The gyms, plural. Even though you can only ever be in one at a time.
No, it's kind of like how British people call mathematics maths. Yeah.
How did I know where you were going?
Gyms.
Welcome to them.
The gyms. Welcome to them.
Yep. That guy's named Jim,
Okay.
and then his name's Jim, and then his name's Jim. We're all named Jim when we're in here. Use any other name, your contract's voided.
Oh, thank God. Charles.
Got a
Greg.
lot of fun rules down here. Well, sometimes we call them the weight rooms. I mean, I call them the weight rooms. But only the ones that have weightlifting equipment. Uh-huh. And what do you call the ones that don't have weightlifting equipment? Redline rolls his eyes, but smiles all the same. I told you, those are the gyms. Come on, Zander, keep up. I can't help but glare at him as we continue down the hall a few steps before Redline stops dead in his tracks. Oh, oi, Bucky! There's a group of older-looking men walking down the hall us. chatting amongst themselves. At Redline's call, one of the men turned his head towards us. His face breaks into a smile.
Are we about to get into another fight?
No, they're friends. They're smiling. That means they're friends.
Oh, okay.
Redline's an excellent judge of character, which is why his shirt says Gegezvata, which is French for
it has two, it doesn't have enough letters. Like, there needs to be an X and a U and a Y thrown in there for it to be French.
His face breaks into a smile and he departs from the group to meet Redline. It's a big old kangaroo.
Oi, Red, how you going?
I'm so jealous that you can almost do an Australian accent, because I literally...
it's gonna fall apart real fucking quick.
I can't find even, like, the bad version of it. It immediately just turns into, like, oi, governor! Like, I'm just like, where... It's like, there are similarities, but it's obviously wrong. Why can't I do it?
Yeah. No, don't you worry. By about sentence 3, we're gonna be in governor territory. Do not worry.
He wastes no time to get close, nearly diving forward to wrap his arms around the taller man's waist in a hug. The kangaroo chuckles tenderly, following suit as his arms envelop Redline. He's still smiling. Their hug lasts for a few seconds while I stand there in a semi-uncomfortable silence. No one around seems to notice, so I guess it's not out of the ordinary for them to give hugs?
How's the leg treating you, Red? All good?
What? Wait. Listen, I'm not here to nitpick everything all the time. It's in my DNA. I guess I am, then. You said his name already. That's how he knew he was coming. I don't remember it, but he did say his name immediately. That's how he called him over. So no question marks. Name. Yes, sir. Sorry to worry you. I got some ice on it for a bit, and it's good as new. The kangaroo craps.
Boy.
The kangaroo claps right on the shoulder and smiles.
Hey, great to hear, man.
He turns his head to me.
I told you by sentence 3 we're in governor. We're in governor. And you. I feel like I've seen you around. New here, are you? I'm trying so fucking hard, but I don't know how to do it.
I loved hearing you say the dumb, like, Cockney voice, and then just add more at the end, so, like, try to save it to turn it Australian.
That's all I can think to do. It's just my impression of Russell Crowe doing an impression of a Cockney kid, or maybe the other way around. Maybe it's my impression of a Cockney kid doing Russell Crowe.
Isn't Russell Crowe English?
He's from New Zealand.
It's like, I gotta at least try to do like a Hugh Jackman or something. There's gotta be like a few more Australians somewhere out there. I'm just not thinking of them right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Hugh Jackman is from Australia.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's very noticeable the moment he's not Wolverine.
Yeah. Huh. Just like Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, it was very English.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. Lost my fucking mind.
Just give me the word no. I can do the narrow. We can do narrow. Just if we fucking get to no, then we're in the clear again.
I'm so sorry, Australia, but also I don't know why you thought you'd be safe, like, compared to everyone else. Redline turns, standing between us and looking at me. Oh, right. Zander, this is Buck.
Hey, Bucky. Coach Bucky.
He's the trainer for a few of us lightweights. Bucky nods and smiles.
Oh, no, it's too long. It's too long. We're not gonna make it.
Watch Bucky turn into the most exposition-heavy character, and it's all has to be in Australian now, because you started the bit.
I work with... Ah, goddamn. I work. I feel like I'm wearing one of those things that plays your own voice back at you after like a quarter of a second, so you get all disoriented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh god. I work with other weight classes too. I heard we were getting some fresh meat. Didn't know it'd be so soon, but we're happy to have you. Kill me. Oh god, I thought he would be a throwaway. It's good to meet you, Zander.
He extends his paw, and I meet it with my own hand. Buck or Bucky? The kangaroo gives a short chuckle.
My rule is that it's either Coach, Bucky, or both. Anything else, and it's 100 push-ups.
And Redline? Another laugh, this time a little louder. He reaches out and ruffles Redline's hair.
This pup's done his fair share of payment and then some. Can't seem to break the habit, so he just sits... Oh. Can't seem to break the habit, so he just ends up doing a little more work, and it's so fucking hard to not be like Abbott and A and little, and it's just like those are all fucking wrong. So he just ends up doing a little more work in the gym.
Christ. Redline, whose tail is going nuts at this point, leans into it. His tail is going nuts! Leans into his paw with a goofy smile strewn across his face. Yes, sir. Plus it helps build more muscle, so why wouldn't I take the opportunity?
I oughta up my rights if that's your rationale, Red.
Oh, what? You don't think I can pay up? Bucky smiles.
And what if you can't?
His eyes have some sort of sinister hue to them. Their shape harrowing down at the hyena. Redline, however, has his eyes wide open. Name your price, Buck. How many inches?
Yeah.
The hyena was standing on his tiptoes to get closer to the kangaroo's face. Bucky's simply leering down, still smiling.
Next time you fumble the name, 20 minutes on the jump rope.
You're on, Buck. The two nearly have their noses pressed against each other. They're still smiling, though, so it can't be genuine taunting?
Oftentimes in the animal kingdom, smiling is doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Still, this is
Please
either
continue.
the worst matched face-off I've seen or the closest I've ever been to a really specific porno.
Uh-huh. I look forward to seeing it tomorrow, Red. I'll be keeping track.
Bucky's voice had a bit of a lilt on that last sentence, giving off his teasing intent. The two separated with laughter, with Bucky's hand moving up to ruffle Redline's hair as he turned to me.
And you?
I shake myself back into the conversation now that I'm being addressed. Huh?
Will you be joining us in class tomorrow? Too?
Bucky's voice is cheery, almost hopeful that I'll be present. I give a half-hearted shrug and gesture to my right shoulder. Not sure if you saw my fight the other day, got a dislocated shoulder, so I've got physical therapy in the morning.
Sounds like pussy talk to me.
The kangaroo nods in understanding. A few more men walk down the hall, patting Bucky on his back. He greets them in passing before looking at me again.
I'm sorry to hear. As much as we'd love to put you to work, we can't have a fighter with a busted arm.
Gonna have to take you out and shoot you.
You rest up until you're cleared, and we'll get you right back up to speed, alright?
His paw bumps Redline's backside, and he nods to us both.
I've gotta head out. You two have a good night, yeah? Thank God he's gone.
For now. Welcome to your weekly torment.
Oh, God, no. No matter... I think that everyone loses. Bird versus the accent is Alien versus Predator.
Now you just have a fun new Pomodoro hobby to work on. It's just,
oh, God.
Just slowly develop your authentic Australian accent based on YouTube vocal coaches and
uh-huh.
With a short hop that turns into a trot.
And yeah, next week I'm gonna come back and there's not gonna be a Bucky, so I'm just gonna give somebody else a random fucking Australian accent.
Adam Spike. Jesus Christ. Oh. With a short hop that turns into a trot, Bucky jogs down the hall towards his cluster
Three
of friends.
verbs for moving, man. Pick one. Dude.
Hop, trot, and a jog. It's a hop, skip,
That's
and a...
all.
What's the phrase?
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because I just spent the last week rewatching all of Cape Escape to prepare for Cape Escape 2. And so much of it is based around the dynamic that Sandals and Jet had, which are me and Toaster's characters. First session in, Toaster reveals that his character is being replaced.
Oh.
He immediately replaced his character with a new character, and I'm like, oh. I took notes about their history to prepare, because it's been like a year. That is irrelevant now. Whoops.
Well, you know, sometimes life is about getting fucked over.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Match my freak. I watch him go and turn back to Redline. The smell of the weight room is still very fresh, as people are still trickling out.
Ew. Oh. The bad smell.
It's a rough combination of smell and trickle.
Ugh.
Probably finishing their routine for the night before heading down to the cafeteria. He starts moving forward, and I follow suit subconsciously. What'd you think of Bucky? Bucky was nice, the thing I describe all people as? Except Bruce. Whore.
The big meanie.
It is pretty nice to meet someone that's not talking down to me. Someone that hasn't really tried to insult me yet. Though I don't think Redline or Drayden intended to come across as offensive, so maybe I shouldn't be so hard on them. Hopefully they can learn to think before they speak. He's alright. Is he hard on you guys? Redline lets out a cheery laugh. Hard in a few places. Of course. I'm not really averse to working hard, but the way he confirmed that already has me feeling exhausted. But hey, now I can do 100 push-ups without breaking a sweat, so I'd say it's worth it, right? I can't really argue with that. I haven't seen the results myself, but that sounds like what a good trainer should do. Maybe it's just the thought of working with my damaged arm, but I'm not sure I'm looking forward to the next class. I'll have to make sure I don't mix up his name. Should be an issue, but with how casually Redline throws it out, it's almost like he does it on purpose. Some sort of masochistic exercise routine. Yeah, I know, but that was explained already. I guess you weren't paying attention, though. He chats at me for a bit before as we walk through the growing sea of sweaty men before reaching the end of the hall. There's a number of closed wooden doors lined across the wall. To our right, a staircase. To our left, a short hallway. A heavy chlorine scent wafted from that direction, so I'm guessing that's the pool. He points down the hall.
That's what we call the library.
It's a little confusing. You'll get used to it. Thankfully, all the books are waterproof. Is that way? I'm not sure how much of a swimmer you are. Not too often. He cocks his head. Oh, really? Any reason why? I shrug. Just never been a big fan. Deer aren't bad swimmers by any stretch, but it's never really been something I've taken to. It's like running, but with heavy equipment on. And I could just be doing that instead of trying to keep my head above water. You're missing out. I love a good swim after a heavy day at the gym. Water rinses all the sweat out and clears my mind. Chlorine destroys my fur.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a hoop and a beach ball in there, so it's nice to dunk on some of the other guys in water basketball. Water basketball? Can you actually do a slam dunk? He fidgets for a second before a nervous giggle is forced out. Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, I don't actually dunk the ball. I'm not tall enough, but I'd like to think I'll get there someday. Taller.
Aww.
Someday, Redline.
Someday.
I gesture to the series.
Out into song.
It starts as I Want song.
Yeah.
I gesture to the series of doors. There's a weird kind of lighting focused against the wall. Almost like it's trying to draw attention to itself. And this? More gyms? Nope. This is the entertainment wing. Well, they call it the enrichment center, but that makes it sound like we're lab rats. Like what? Colts. He gives a bit of a non-committal hand wave, accompanied by a high-pitched sound of confusion. I was gonna say animals, but yeah, basically. A weird, sterile name for a place like this, but maybe it's just to sound impressive. The Aperture Enrichment Center. Redline's already gone ahead to the entrance of the wing, so I follow suit. It's a library.
So it is.
Enrichment Center is a pretty pretentious name for a normal-looking library.
All the books are porn.
They're all what?
Porn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Please
that
take
kind
your
of enrichment.
Please take your books and to the sample gathering chamber.
Uh-huh.
We're enriching something.
Sample gathering chamber, also known as the Cumtorium.
Little known fact.
The jizz hole.
Little known fact, they called it the vomitorium not because you threw up or anything, because you actually like would leave those rooms, but the cumtorium, whole new story. Redline's standing with his hands on his hips, smiling wide as ever. What do you think? I feel so enriched. His laugh jumps out at me. I should be used to how sudden it can be, but it must be more surprising in the sounds of the library. How sudden it can be, as opposed to like laughs that like ramp up. like they have to just like crossfade into existence. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like it's approaching. That's way worse. The Doppler laugh.
I hate it too. Oh god, do I hate that.
The rest of the people sitting around reading must have also not expected the sudden laughter, judging by the generally angry looks on their faces. It's definitely not as stocked as your standard library, but it's got a lot of non-fiction stuff. The most useful kind of books. Like history books? He tilts his head. No. More like...
What, like technical manuals or something? Oh god.
We have 100 copies.
That's a cult. That's so fucking culty.
We have 100 copies of 12 Rules of Life.
Oh.
And then 50 copies of 12 more Rules of Life. The squeak
Go to
bowl.
the Enrichment Center to check out the self-help books, and never question it.
We've
and
actually
never leave.
We've actually been puppeteering, or we've been propping up Jordan Peterson's entire career.
Sweet, somebody had to throw that guy a bone.
Isn't that in all the beef he's been eating? I think he's fewer bones, if anything. This is too much Jordan Peterson lore.
Yeah.
You know, learning books. Books that you learn from. Textbooks and stuff. That's a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Looking around, there are a lot of people reading at tables. A few of them have notebooks out, scribbling down notes, having some quiet discussions amongst themselves. Redline, you know that history books are history textbooks, right?
Nah, history is fictional. The only history we have is this one right here, and it's just like some weird Necronomicon-looking fucking thing.
It has a quiet hum. Follow Redline as he moves out of the library, passing by the raccoon fellow I saw earlier. He's got some sort of art tutorial book open next to a notebook. Scribbles strewn across one page. Is this an artist cameo? If I look up the artist of this game right now, will I find a raccoon? Save.
Did Toaster make this game?
Credits. Hunter. Alright, their handle is Nanothehedgehog, so that seems like it's not a raccoon. Decotes. This one didn't open a tab. Raptor. None of these are opening pages now. It's broken. I broke it. It broke. Only one link successfully opened the tab. The rest of them fell apart. Anyway, did not look like a raccoon. We went to the door opposite the pool that leads down a unique-looking hallway. Modern architecture. Looks pretty impressive lighting. It stands out from the rest of the facility so far. Now it's okay to see that the background doesn't match. At the end of a hall is a grand-looking steel door that looks like it was designed to blend into the wall. There's a black panel on the wall to the right side. Redline steps up to it, tapping the LED screen to life. Okay, cool. Looks like it's free for a few hours. Another few taps and the door slides open. The bright light burns my eyes before I have the chance to look away. I am startled by a drawn background.
It definitely stands out.
Wait, where are we?
I don't know.
Huh. Once I
This
managed
is
to
the
adjust,
pool?
Redline, is there like a dome? Is it like a Truman dome just around us?
I think so.
How expensive is this place? No one cares about their workers this much. Once I manage to adjust, Redline leads me through the open door onto a giant deck hanging over a beach. Behind us, the sun shines down, filling the space with glorious light. This is the holodeck. I barely noticed the change in temperature, but I can tell it's a bit warmer in here with the way my shirt gently sticks to my body. This is the immersion chamber.
Oh my god.
It's a holodeck.
The immersion chamber, the education center. Ugh.
Just the worst
Redline.
names. My hands grip the railing, tracing along it as I move the length of the deck. My eyes close and I take a moment to breathe in the salty air. A cool breeze flitters past, my ears twitching from its influence. The sound of the waves crashing against the shore, the warmth of the sun on my fur. I try to soak it in for as long as I can. Pretty cool, right? It's beautiful. It's alright. That's his reaction to everything. Whenever he has to speak out loud, he's like, "This is fine. He's fine. This place is fine." It's nice. I don't remember seeing anything like this in the promo material or contract or anything, really. Redline's already moved up next to me, hands on the railing as he looks out over the sea. Yeah, well, so this area is kind of reserved for higher tier fighters. We're not really supposed to be here, so this is going to be a scene that ends badly for you. I frown. It's okay, as long as no one's booked it, people don't really mind if I'm here. But yeah, people will host parties or fight celebrations or whatever here. Whatever, really. In here. Sometimes they'll invite me, it's pretty cool. Or whatever, ... They even decorate it for the holidays and stuff, too. How does it work? We're underground. He moves backwards towards the door. There's a black panel along the wall on the inside of the room, too. That's right. So, this screen controls, basically the whole room. Time of day, temperature, wind, tide, you name it. But when the simulation is off, with a few taps, the sunlight fades away. Actually, the whole skyline disappears, replaced with a dull white light. Yeah, it is Truman Show, not holodeck. The waves turn still, resting calmly against the sand. There's no more wind, and the heat has started to turn into the familiar temperature that's shared with the rest of the facility. I can feel my heart sink a little as everything turns sterile. Quiet is nice, but for a few seconds, it's deafening silence. As quickly as the scenery had vanished, it returns. The sound of the waves splashing once more, flowing through the air. And, like I said, time of day.
Oh.
This one had to be drawings. They were never going to make it through without it being drawings. This is going to be where an emotional scene happens.
Yeah, without drawings, this would have just looked like somebody took the picture and pulled up like the hue slider in Photoshop and was just like,
oh no. I'm calling it. There's going to be a sad scene on the beach in the moonlight at the lowest point of the story. And it'll be made
the dark night of the soul, as they say.
It'll be made slightly funnier knowing how artificially the location was set. He's like, I set it to the moody mode because I'm not happy right now. It's not just like a normal sunset.
That's true.
A few seconds
in
the sun
reflects your mood. It knows all.
Oh, weird. When you enter it, it just turns blank. Was that you want to talk about it?
Oh, blank is the color of horny in our universe.
The color. A few seconds pass and the sun dips down below the horizon. With it, a fake moon rises on the opposite side of the room. So it's not real. Yeah, thanks, Zander.
Yeah, Zander.
Always keeping up with things.
Yep. He's got protagonist brain. It always takes a second or two to download anything.
This is a reoccurring thing I've seen that like authors themselves have said is like the secret to making my character seem smarter was to just delete most of the times he spoke. Because like their input is often just to like summarize things, but way too late. So you're like, are you dumb? Are you okay? Red then moves back to where he was before, standing next to me along the railing. Well, no. Like you said, we're really far underground. Kind of hard to get any real sunlight down here, but it does a good job of imitating it. You could probably get a tan if you stayed out long enough. On your fur. I've been trying to block Redline out as he spoke.
Same.
My eyes close and I take in the ocean air again. The cool breeze, the salty scent, the sound of the waves. None of this is real. I will say, it's missing something. He has a really good habit of breaking my concentration. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's just uncanny enough to bother me. I miss the real thing, too. But hey, this view is nice, right? I look out to the fabricated sea. Yeah. We stay there for a while. That night, I dream of the ocean. Well, that's better than the other time. That's an improvement, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead and pull.
My hand wraps around an elastic
Congratulations,
band.
it's a boy.
No! A challenge to the throne.
We're really into M-Preg stuff in your porn? Snuff and M-Preg, that's all we got.
We saw your phone. So we gave you a baby while you were sleeping. My hand wraps around an elastic band, pulling it gently across my chest, and then returning it back to the side. I repeat this motion a few times, with Drayden holding the other end of the band.
How's your shoulder feel?
Fine, actually. He takes a sip of his coffee and winces. It smells really sweet.
Hot. That's good. You said it was giving you some trouble yesterday?
Yeah, I was aching a bit, but I think that was caused by other stuff.
What happened?
Nothing, just... Bruce did assault me, but I'd rather not bring that up for some reason. I'd rather think of an excuse when It's hard to think of an excuse when I'm put up on the spot. I can just use Redline as a scapegoat, right? What?
Okay.
Redline got excited and yanked me around all over the place. He chokes up a laugh into his coffee.
That'll do it. I'd have hoped he'd be a little bit more careful, knowing your situation, but you can't really do much about him once he gets excited. I know how that goes. He tried to talk my ear off the one time we met. But, yeah, be careful with that one.
You don't need to tell me. Another small laugh from the feline as he takes another sip before setting the cup of coffee to the side. I just added that part. Just put some more words in that sentence for fun. He moves behind me, holding my shoulder gently. It's like he's handing some fragile artifact.
I hope that this continues, because immediately the writing quality of the past, couple of slides here is notably so much better. With it's not... Can you go back one? He moves behind me, holding my shoulder gently, is so much better than how it's written sometimes, where it's like...
He appeared behind me and my shoulder was held. Yeah.
Yeah. My shoulder is held by a hand that appears behind me, or something like that. This is good. This is
the talk
right
around
like
this. Yeah.
Can you squeeze your shoulder blades together for me?
I follow suit. It's actually a nice stretch back there. I should do this more often. Drayden tilts my head to the left, giving an even better stretch along the right side of my neck.
Very good. Any pain at all?
No.
Good.
He comes back around to my front, scribbling something down on his clipboard.
So, how was your first day? Aside from Red nearly breaking her arm, I mean.
I'm trying not to think about a lot of what happened yesterday. Fine.
That's his catchphrase.
That's a bad habit.
Yep.
That's all I really want to say. There's a bit of a silence where Drayden just sort of smiles at me. He takes a drink from his cup of coffee. I guess he's expecting more. Redline showed me around a bit, and I met a coach. He was halfway through his drink, but he stopped when I mentioned the coach.
Thank you for reminding me. Since I'm discharging you fully today, I've got your coach assignment. Oh no.
Assignment? Drayden nods, flipping a bit through his clipboard.
It's just to get you acquainted with how we work down here. You're free to choose different coaches once you make some progress, but it's a good idea to stick with the same one for a bit.
Can't really contest that. Coaches work best when they know their fighters work. How their fighters work.
Yeah.
The more a fighter changes coaches, the more time the coach has to spend finding the fighter's limits and capabilities. It's kind of a waste of time that you could use training to get stronger.
Uh-huh. Looks like you've got Coach Bucky. I know.
Can't believe it. I never would have guessed this outcome.
Yeah.
It'd be a ballsy move to be like, anyway, we introduced a whole coach character with their own dedicated sprite and everything, and then they're like, so anyway, here's your coach, and then it's just you get a completely different character with their own sprite, and you never see Bucky again.
Well executed, I would actually like that as a twist. I think that could be good writing.
Just to screw with you for thinking that you understand the limitations of a VN, and be like, oh, that sprite, that means this character shows up more.
Yeah,
and they just disappear.
I would love that.
I'm thinking about like how do you get an eyebrow cut as a cat?
I guess you have to get an eyebrow. That's step one. And then step
Already
two
weird
is
for a cat.
Yeah. Step two is a
I'm trying to remember.
a shaving incident.
I think Redline also had an eyebrow cut, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But I'm looking at that, I'm like, yeah, he's got an eyebrow cut, and I'm like, but he doesn't have a scar.
The fur hides it.
So there's no scar, but it's also like, I don't know how well you could like shave it into yourself without it out. Well, there's still just normal fur under it.
Maybe he just does it on purpose. He's like, I think this looks cool.
Bucky.
Yep. He's a big kangaroo fella.
Well, that's a nice coincidence. No, I know. Redline actually introduced us last night.
Oh, great. I get more of his students sent my way than from the other coaches, so he must be working them hard.
Or preparing them very poorly so they get beat up bad in fights.
That's what
See you soon.
Thought they were going for. Yeah. Either that or they aren't learning to dodge too well.
Dredden laughs a bit. There's a beat of silence.
Okay, don't ever... a beat of silence is just marking time. Anyway. Don't tell him I said that.
Pay
I
me.
feel like when the music breaks like this, like it's serious time. You know, we're about to hear like somebody's tragic backstory or something like that. Nope, it's extortion.
I think it's just mostly just the awkwardness of like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I can't tell what the tone is of pay me. Like how serious it is.
I'm gonna assume he'll try to play it off as a joke.
Just ruin our relationship.
Yeah. No, pay me. I want to see
Pay
it. Oh,
me.
it's up to you.
Drayden lets out a nervous chuckle, but it goes silent.
And now we're doing the bad route. We chose the evil option. Are you... how much?
I didn't think this far ahead. Is he actually scared of Bucky? I shake my head. I wasn't serious.
Oh. Okay, good.
You're all the poorer for it. He laughs gently and taps his pen on his clipboard.
I appreciate it. I don't think he'd really do anything about it, but I'd rather not get on his bad side. Things are a lot easier when people get along.
Even when they fake their accent.
Oi, that's not nice. Especially down here, cooped up in this facility, it can really drive men to do some weird stuff, you know?
You know, men cooped up in a space of old men for long stretches of time, You'll never guess what happens.
It's only them and the re-education or the self-enrichment facility or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
Cabin fever and all that. I'm a doctor. That's an official diagnosis I can give.
Uh-huh. You might call it post-nut clarity. I can't help but glare at him. Cabin fever is usually pretty intense, right? I think I saw a movie about it once. What?
Ooh.
Isn't that dangerous? He tilts his head, thinking for a moment.
I might have been exaggerating a bit when I said that. I mean, yes, it can be dangerous, but I don't think anyone down here is capable of going and saying,
What does that
have
mean?
you met anyone?
Have you seen the guy? What, be losing his mind?
Any of them? Fucking take your pick. Wow. Maybe just a bit stir crazy, that's all. I suppose that's why they give you vacation time.
What if we just had a normal facility with none of these limitations and struggles and expenses?
Why would you want that?
Vacation time? They give us vacation time?
Yep. Didn't anyone tell you? Nobody's fucking told them a thing.
No one even told us where our room was.
I suppose you were in medbay for a lot longer than most would have been. Must just slip through the cracks. Sorry about that. Oh my god. This is hell. This would be horrible. But yes, you were allotted a total of 2 vacation days for every win you get. You can rack them up for enough time for a nice long trip.
I could feel my ears fold down. I don't know why I would even want to leave, though. Not like there's anything waiting for me above ground. Drayden sort of pauses uncomfortably.
Sorry, knowing your situation makes us all, probably pretty depressing.
I dart my eyes away.
How are you feeling about that, by the way?
My eyes narrow and my head drops slightly. I don't answer. I don't know how to answer.
Fine. I know it seems impossible, but I know you can overcome this.
With the power of friendship. Or this gun you found.
Make friends with Bruce so he feels less bad about kicking your ass. I mean, more bad. More.
Thanks. There's another moment of silence. He's probably trying to find a way to spin this into something positive. Can I talk to the commissioner? Drayden's face freezes up. With his eyes darting down to his clipboard, he starts to shimmy the pen from side to side in his fingers, almost like a nervous tick.
That's, I'll see what I can do.
I'd wish he'd at least look me in the eyes.
Sorry for the yawn. I don't say this to discourage you or anything, but it's really hard to get a hold of the commissioner. It would be a good idea to focus on your training right now.
He sighs, waiting a second before scribbling something out on another sheet of his clipboard.
I'll do what I can.
Thanks. There's a bit more awkward silence between us. He probably feels bad, but I don't really know what I was expecting. I knew this before coming to this place. I'm the only one that controls what happens to me.
Uh-huh.
Even with this unfortunate circumstance, I have to persevere. There's no point in hoping other people can save me now.
So,
I look back up at Drayden.
Sorry,
He clears his throat.
this will get figured out. We'll get this figured out.
It has to get figured out, one way or another. Thanks. Drayden gives a pleasant smile, scribbling down something down in his notebook. Well,
Well, if there's nothing else I can help you with, I'd say you're free to go. You can start training too. Just be careful, you know? Your ligaments are still newly recovered. No point in breaking them again so soon.
you do not want to break a ligament ever. That would be very bad.
Don't worry about it. We got ligament healing juice or whatever.
I make my way to the door. Right, I'll do my best.
That's all we can do, Alex.
I twitch slightly at hearing that name. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Thanks. They're just not learning his name at all. Granted, he's not even... He, like, just refuses to speak up for himself, basically, ever. It's gonna be a brutal time being this guy.
He is a very spineless guy.
Yeah. Alright, that's gonna be it for me. My voice is giving out.
Yeah, I can hear it.
See y'all next time.
Bye. I'm gonna practice this Australian accent. Bucky is gonna come back unrecognizable.
Pinky
in a good
swear.
way. Yeah.